I installed an Ecobee thermostat. On the control panel at the furnace, if I leave the two wires for the AC connected, the fuse for the blower blows. If I disconnect those two wires, the blower works as does the thermostat. My guess is that something at the AC unit outside is not correct.
Do you know the model of your Ecobee thermostat? How old is it?
Ecobee 4 and we bought it yesterday.
How long has this been going on with your Ecobee thermostat? What have you tried so far?
Furnace is trane Z90, AC is trane Z1100.
Anything else we should know to help you best?
Since we bought it yesterday, the previous thermostats does not have an issue.
Hi. My name is I've got over 10 years of HVAC/air conditioning refrigeration experience. Please read this entire post. I've worked on everything from 1200-ton chillers, residential ACs down to refrigerators and everything in between. I've also been to Generac school, so I'm also qualified to help with generators and basic small engines. I would be glad to help you out today. All I ask is that you please remember I am also a service tech who actively is working in the field, so my responses may be a bit delayed. Please know that I will still do my best to get back to you in a timely manner. I'm sure with my knowledge, and us working together, we can get you a satisfactory answer. With that being said, phone requests are often auto-generated by JustAnswer. If you don't want them, simply do not accept the phone request, and I'll be happy to help through text. Could you take the thermostat off the wall, snap a photo of the wiring and upload it to our chat box? Thanks, Tamar.
Ecobee.
You wouldn't happen to have a photo of the previous wiring, would you? Either we've got some wires crossed up or the tech who installed your thermostat in the past used completely wrong color wires for what a thermostat is usually designated for.
Previous.
Thank you. Let's take the blue wire off PEC and connect it to Y1. Did you install a separate eco relay inside of the air handler? I believe the Gen 3 and 4 comes with something you have to install on the board of the air handler unit. Normal thermostats, the green wire should go to G, the blue or cooling call of your thermostat should go to Y1.
At the air handler. When the second red and white wires, coming out of the brown, were connected, the 5-amp fuse would blow. But once disconnected, the blower works but no AC.
Right, the second set of wires, red and white, run outside to your condensing unit to power up the contactor, brings on the outside unit. Was the outside unit working before the Ecobee installation?
It was working, yes.
Okay. Give me a second, I'm pulling up the Ecobee relay manual. Looks like you've got the PEC device wired in right according to the manual, so with those set of wires that run outside, red and white, they should be directly connected to Y and C on the control board that the PEC device connects to. Looks like the photo you sent of the thermostat wiring is also correct. The PEC switch is the way everything is wired. http://prntscr.com/08 Please, so with those two wires connected to Y and C with the PEC device, you're popping the 3-amp fuse inside now.
The 5-amp fuse popped.
Okay, so all the Ecobee is doing is making a comment available through the G terminal, fan. You've got the thermostat wired incorrectly and you've got the PEC device on the board wired correctly according to your photos. If everything is correct, the contactor in the outside unit may be shorted. To test this, you could turn the power off to the inside unit, Disconnect the PEC from the board, take the red wire from the outside connector and jump it to red instead of Y on the board, leave the common or C alone. Turn the power back on and observe if the unit outside comes on and runs. If it does, we have an issue with the PEC device or Ecobee thermostat. If the fuse still pops, we've got a short on the outside unit, most likely the contactor coil. The PEC device is not needed if you had a fifth wire that ran from C from your furnace back to the thermostat. Unfortunately, looks like you only have 4 wires available to use on your T-stat wire. Then you could connect all the wires normally and let the thermostat use the C terminal from the air handler instead of having to use the PEC kit. Let me know what you find after you've jumped the cooling cycle out. Thanks, Tamar.
Connect the wires back to the board without the PEC and connect the red that goes to the outside unit to the red on the board. The white goes where? Back to Y?
Correct. The 2 wires that come from the outside unit are red and white in color. Hook red to R on the control board instead of its usual spot, Y, and white goes to C. Wired like this, the outside unit should come online as soon as power is applied.
Just want to verify this is correct.
It is correct.
The outside unit came on. Ecobee does not work.
Sounds like the Ecobee relay. Status defective.
We switched the PEC wire to Y at the thermostat. Would that still be correct?
Only without using the PEC device, in the air handler. Ecobee manual states that Y should go to PEC if you're using the device inside the air handler.
Okay, so my best bet would be to return my Ecobee for a new one and try again?
Correct. Seems like the PEC device in that Ecobee is faulty. Your wiring was all correct. See here, https://support.ecobee.com/hc/ns/articles/360009155051. Installing your Ecobee thermostat with the power extender kit. No C wire. Hopefully I was helpful today. If you had another question, feel free to ask it now and I'll do my best to reply ASAP. Otherwise, all I ask is that you take just a few seconds and remember to rate the question with 5 stars on the top left. That way JustAnswer will credit me as the expert for answering your question. If we don't get ratings, we won't get credit. If you have another question after rating pertaining to what we talked about, you can ask it after rating free of charge. Thanks. Tamar.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
One last question. I hope I exchanged my Ecobee. When I connect the PEC to the control panel, do I put the red and white AC wires back to their original place, white Y and red C? Or leave them as red R and white C?
Correct, put them back to Y and C. Tamar.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/ythi.